Hi, everyone. Good evening. It's Emily Knight here with Joe and Anna, two of the leadership team members that I don't know you've spent enough time with because they're amazing. And so much of everything that you see, right, comes from this team and Kelsey and others. So we thought that tonight the three of us would just maybe engage in a conversation for all of you about a really important topic. I think you know that we've had our marketplace event for as long as anyone likely can remember, and it's the largest food, I call it sort of food and beverage show in the state of Texas and well beyond those borders. And every year it's sort of a culmination every summer of bringing exhibitors and suppliers in, having members come from across the state, restaurant owners, and many times from Oklahoma and Louisiana, and really thinking about how, what's next, what's the innovation, what are restaurants going to need going forward. And also it's a time we celebrate. So we celebrate our industry, we celebrate all the great things that have been accomplished. We have award nights, we raise money, and really it was when I first stepped into my role last year, this was my sort of coming out in a way, and I got to meet so many of you. Fast forward, when the crisis hit, we made a decision as a team that we felt that June would not be an option. That was when this event was canceled or originally scheduled for. So instead of canceling it, we knew that at this point, even in, gosh, it was probably early April, guys, we thought, we have to have this, right? There's been no but more important time than to get information, right? For people to actually be talking to one another and thinking about all the innovation and new models that are going to have to be here and many to stay as we go forward. Well, then we sort of were looking pretty good in May, and we thought things would be possible by about mid-June, that for August, which is when we had rescheduled, we felt great about that. But then we all know that we took a turn, and only COVID knows why, and only COVID knows where we're headed. And of course, COVID doesn't speak. So, as a team, we made a decision about a month ago that the easiest thing to do, and what most people have done, is just simply cancel their show. The National Restaurant Association show was canceled in May, which put a huge void because it's a spectacular show and people come from around the world. And with that being canceled, and pretty much every show in between being canceled, we thought it was worth putting the effort and the time and the energy into reimagining a show that would really be an experience, and an experience where we could have the same elements of collaboration and learning and knowledge transfer and people being excited about the future because there's better clarity. And we could do that really well without actually being together. And so we just made a pivot, and between everything else going on, because I am so proud of this team, we've created an entirely virtual experience. And there's a couple elements about it that Anna's going to walk you through. But the great news for you is that while we won't be physically in Dallas together, we will be virtually together. And that togetherness is going to be a much, much broader group of people, and the days and the amount of knowledge and the amount of information, because we've been able to reshape this, that it's going to be what you need to move forward in this post-COVID-19 era, is all going to be done from the really comfort of your own home or a beach or inside a restaurant dining room maybe, but you can come in and out when you want. And again, I'm just really proud because there's so much going on and there's not enough hours in the day, but we wouldn't be true to ourselves and to the TRA and our commitment to all of you to bring you knowledge and education if we just walked away and canceled it. So we also know that our exhibitors and our suppliers are so critical. And if restaurants have been hurt, the supply chain has been so badly hurt as well. And so giving them an opportunity to still generate leads, to engage with people they would not be able to see right now due to travel, that was a huge consideration for us, because if the restaurant industry doesn't recover, they don't recover. And so as you looked at all those pieces, we said, let's do it. And I'm so excited about where we're headed. And we've made the announcement today internally. And so now we're here to tell all of you. And I'm going to have Anna just walk you through sort of this vision that's now become a reality. And then Joe will speak a lot about sort of these experiences that our exhibitors are going to create for all of you.
Thanks,
So Anna?
Thank you. I'm really excited about this. As Emily mentioned, this is going to be the first ever TRA Marketplace virtual event. Who knows if it's going to continue in the future, but we're really going to try something new here that no other trade association, no other media company has really ever done before. I'm sure you are experienced with virtual trade shows. A lot of our great partners put them on throughout the year. That is not the direction that we're going in. We really want people to have more of a engaged opportunity to talk with different exhibitors, to talk with different board members, to talk with each other, and then to learn from industry experts through awesome education as well. So if you can imagine a week-long event. We're going to start on August 16th, which is a Sunday, and it won't end until August 21st, which is a Friday. It'll be a week-long event packed with education, demonstration sessions from experts, keynote presentations, as well as lounges and happy hours that are going to be hosted by our board members throughout the week as well.
Happy hour is the best part.
That is the best part. We're looking for an alcohol sponsor. So FYI. So that it's going to be really exciting, and we're already rolling in the wealth of education that we're going to talk about. But Emily's right, we had to scrap all of the old education and throw it out whenever the pandemic hit. And so we're really focused on education around 3 different areas. The first one is around people. How do you take care of your people? What kind of conversations are happening with your people and your staff right now around racism and unconscious bias, and how do you serve people and treat them well? It's a prickly area, but one that we really need to shed some light on. The second one is about pivoting and innovation, which of course is one of my favorite subjects. That's where we're going to hear a lot from people that have really unique business models, delivery only models, ghost kitchens, really cool technology that they're going to show off. And then the third one is sustainable operations. So who are some brands out there that are doing really cool things that maybe didn't need to bring a whole bunch of new technology involved, but have been able to sustain operations in a really innovative way? So we've asked Raising Cane's to be a part of that. We've also asked P. Terry's Burger Stand to be a part of that conversation. And there's a bunch of other experts that are in the lineup as well. The really great thing that I'm excited about that Joe's going to walk through is what we're going to do with our exhibitors, because restaurateurs need solutions. The place they get a lot of these solutions is at trade shows or on Google. So we're basically combining the best of those 2 items and making it a lot easier for people to make decisions about products and services that are going to lead their businesses through the pandemic and beyond. Joe?
Thank you, Anna. No, we're very, very excited about this. I think all of us have had that moment where you go into something virtual and you kind of feel that it's somehow less, or it's somehow not the same. We have put together something that, as I think with this entire experience of the COVID pandemic, Texas has been a leader. We have done things differently. We've been willing to try new things, and we've done it. I think I'm willing to say head and shoulders above the rest. And so this is no different. Our exhibitors are very excited. They will each be able to put together a brand experience for those who are interested in whether it's a piece of equipment, a product that you might incorporate into your menu, a service that you bring into your house, or even something that helps you augment how you do your business model today because of all the things that have changed over the course of the pandemic. We've been speaking with them over the last couple of days, letting them know what's happening before we go public, and then wanted to let all of you know about this as well. And so people will have the opportunity, not just during this week, to have these experiences in the brands that they're interested in, but then go back to this. So this whole experience becomes this living repository for the next year that people can go back to, because we know that this isn't exactly over yet, but we're charting the course for where everything's going to go, and have these conversations. And so with that, we're also doing outreach to some special keynote speakers to come in and be part of that conversation as well. And Texas has been and will continue to be a leader, but we also want there to be a broader audience that's part of that conversation as well. So we're very excited about this. And so we figured, why just keep it to ourselves, but let's also open it up to a broader audience and to the rest of the world too. And so with that, we asked Emily to contact some of her colleagues.
Yeah, and so I think some of you know that we're Texas, but we have it's a blessing that we're part of a much wider network. And that network is the National Restaurant Association and all the federal work. And so many of you know right now that we're laser focused. We've got about a 3-week window to secure additional PPP funding for all of you, as well as the Recovery Fund. And the Recovery Fund, we first launched, I think it was $240 billion initially. That's been revised down, which is why we know we need the PPP. But that Recovery Fund and PPP have to get done. But all of that happens in partnership with the National Restaurant Association and all of our lobbyists in DC, along with all of our state restaurant association partners. I have to say that one of the greatest things I found in this job is that support that lies outside the borders of Texas. And so I'm really lucky. I sit on the Council of State Restaurant Executives. And when we thought about how do we bring value to our exhibitors, because we know that a lot of our exhibitors, they can't travel. So trade shows have all been canceled. They are not allowed to travel, even some just a certain amount of distance. So how do we get more eyeballs on what they have to sell? So I went to my colleagues, right, the other state restaurant association CEOs, and said, could you please make this a free benefit to your members? Can you please take this show and everything that comes with it? We'd be willing to give access to it if you can please, send your people, let them log on from Nebraska, New York City, California, et cetera. And so a number of states have agreed to do that. And then we went one step further, and the Council of State Restaurant Executives, they're going to push it out to all 50 states. And so that collaboration, and those like for Florida, for example, who had to cancel their show, that gives them an opportunity to go to all of their members and say, hey, here's a place for you to go to learn, to grow, to understand the ins and outs. There's going to be a lot on legal. There's so much going on legal right now, right? There's going to be a lot on liability protection. There's going to be insurance. We're going to have a pack lounge, which is going to be fun because it'll be virtual, but giving you a chance to even meet potential candidates, right? That may be coming. That all of this is not possible right now due to the restrictions. And we just felt really strongly that you all are now used to doing things virtually. If we had tried this 2 years ago, it would have been a challenge. But when you try it after we've all lived for 100+ days in a world where I probably spend 8 hours on Zoom, right? My whole social life are these boxes, and that's it. And so for me, I'm excited because everything's being canceled. As my twin said, Mom, everything is canceled. Like everything fun is canceled. And I was like, well, cutting the art isn't canceled. But that's not exciting or fun. So for us to be able to do this and do it well, I think just brings value. And we didn't want to keep it in Texas because we know our exhibitors need that help. But we also know there's restaurants, and our independent restaurants in particular, to be able to just log in and, as Joe said, archive everything to go back to later and say, I really need that cleaning solution. What was it that I heard about? Or, there was an HR lecture, or maybe a leadership lecture by Matthew Mabel or the CEO of Pete Terry's. And we've arranged, I'm going to do a town hall with the new CEO of the NRA, right? And talk about the future of the industry. So there's going to be a lot for all of you. But we just thought, instead of just sending you an email about this, we thought it was enough of a big deal that we wanted to talk about it tonight. So you'll hear more tomorrow. We'll do a press release tomorrow that Anna and Joe have written. And then it'll be fast and furious, and you'll start to see the session lineup, right, Anna? And maybe Anna, I'll turn it over to you because now we're getting into logistics, which they always tell me to not talk about because I don't always get it right.
Sure. Also, I knew Emily could not get through one video without mentioning PPP. So I think
I can't. I have to say at least 4 times a day. It's part of my ritual.
Yeah. Joe, what did you want to say?
Well, I think credit due where credit is due. Anna and her team have put together some really amazing things. And for all of you who are going to participate in this event, know that this isn't just logging in to watch. It'll be interactive, it'll be participative, and it'll be an omni-channel experience. So what does that mean? That means that for those of you who are the leaders of your companies, you'll get a very lovely box coming in the mail to you before this event starts. And it will have inside of it all the things you love to get when you go to a trade show. So everyone knows you go to a trade show, you get the bag, you get your lanyard, you get your guidebook, and then you start collecting the swag and the samples and all of those things. And frankly, our exhibitors like to make sure that they get their product in your hands as well, and the samples. And a company has connected with us who can facilitate that. And so we're very excited that you won't miss out on that stuff. And so those of you who are just, anxious every year for Aphrodite's cookies, we'll still get them this year. So, those are those things that, we know make marketplace, right? And so her team's working hard at those.
Emily might divert that delivery of Aphrodite cookies to her.
Oh my gosh. Let me just tell you, that was a problem last year. They're amazing. So yes, if we can, I'd like a box actually on the first day would be very helpful, but
yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, but I think I just think that's and Joe and Anna both have great teams, right? So it's not by any means, this is a lot of thinking, but a lot of doing. These people aren't on the call tonight, and they're amazing. And so the TRA team has just stepped up huge. And so, like I said, I just think it's great. We like to do different things. We like to maybe go against the grain a little bit, and we're going to make this great. And I guess my call to action is, you all need information, right? You hopefully read these letters we send out every night, because we really try to consolidate and try to keep you up to date on everything that we know. This is an opportunity for you to look across that agenda and mark those times for yourselves or your employees to be able to actually have an experience and to learn something, because things are changing so quickly. We had a town hall today with a number of Tarrant County legislators, and it was interesting at the end of it, Senator Hancock said, everyone just has to understand this is Texas and we innovate and we're resilient and we're Texans and we're going to get through this. And I think this is our way of saying we're not throwing in the towel. We're going to get through it and we're going to get through it together. And so I'm super excited and I'm really thankful to the team. There's nothing we can't do. That's clear. So I'm just so proud of them. And again, it's going to be great. So wait for the announcements, register, and let's have a great experience. And then the good news is we will meet in person in San Antonio in 21. Which is what a great city to go to. So God willing, wear your mask, wash your hands, stay 6 feet apart, and we'll all be in San Antonio together.
Awesome.
Anna, Joe, anything else for tonight?
No, we got to go get to work on it now.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and so I'll just do 2 more updates because then I don't have to type. 2 more updates or 3 updates. One is the proposal on restaurants and bars continues to make good progress. And so bars that are restaurants, et cetera, we've talked a lot about. So there's a lot of communication on that right now, which I'm excited about. There's no update. And again, I always tell you this, Governor Abbott is really clear that he's just going to keep monitoring the data and those hospital numbers and hospital bed numbers. But we know there's some things happening behind the scenes. So everyone just continue to kind of let's move this forward thoughtfully. The second thing is around the growlers. And again, I think that's also making progress. I know that would really help our friends on the beer side to get that done. And right now, you know, the collaboration between all of us, whether it's grocery or our tiers of alcohol partners, you know, our hotel friends, everyone's just coming together to get through this. And so we hope to have that update. And then, as I said, around federal funding, we hope to hear by early next week, at least the movement. There was something last night, again, something today about where the horse trading might go, but there's nobody saying that our sector does not need more relief. I think that's really the critical message. And then last, I am going to share, we'll have some ghostwriters the next 2 nights. The team and I, you probably don't know this, but along with Kelsey, the 4 of us every night work on our communication together. And so I typically draft a communication or video, and then the team will help go through it and usually clean it up a little bit. And then, you know, Anna assembles content all day with Joe, and Kelsey is always the sort of thoughtful on the government affairs and lobbying. I'm actually going to take Thursday and Friday, and I'm taking one of my twins to the beach. So I'm telling you now only because I'm super stressed about not doing my job those 2 evenings writing my letter. But the team's going to do great, and then I'll see you next Monday back on letter writing. So again, I guess that's it. Let's go Marketplace 2020. It's going to be amazing. And again, I just want to thank the team and Anna and Joe. Any final words, and then we'll sign off for people.
It's going to be amazing. Come along on this journey with us. It'll be really fun.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I think it's a given. Most of you know this already. It comes with your membership, but the registration is free. So make sure that you do go, you sign up, get ready for it, have your staff join us. It's going to be an amazing and fun experience.
It's free for restaurant operators.
Yes, free for restaurant operators.
Yes.
They're not much free anymore right now, so that's a good thing. All right, guys. Well, have a great night. Again, thanks to the team. Thanks to all of you. One more day forward tomorrow keeps, you know, Texas resilience, right? Let's go.
Have a good night, everyone.
All right. Bye, guys. Take care.